Hi, I'm Taylor Danner, chiropractic assistant at the Chiropractic Spine Center, and here with me is Dr. Cambouris. I have another question for you, Dr. Cambouris.
Sure.
The other day I had a phone call. Somebody asked me if we help with tendonitis. What are some things that we can do to help tendonitis and kind of prevent it?
Tendonitis. First, let's back up and find out what exactly it is. Tendonitis is inflammation of a tendon. And what does a tendon do? It's the attachment between a muscle and a bone. So that tendon allows that muscle to function and that joint to move. When it's typically overused or it's strained, it can become inflamed and create tendonitis. Most commonly it happens in the elbow, and a lot of times we'll call it tennis elbow or golfer's elbow, depending on the side. You can have tendonitis occur really in any joint in the body. Can we help it? Absolutely we can. How does chiropractic care work on that? Well, I can't really adjust the tendon, but we can adjust the joint that the tendon is attached to. So if that tendon is inflamed, it's going to shorten, contract, and pull a little harder, which allows that joint to misalign and put stress on a nerve. So we can help that process by allowing that joint to be realigned and to function better, have a greater range of motion, and a little more flexibility. That allows the healing process to start. On the tendon itself, there is a question and answer that we've done recently about ultrasound therapy. Ultrasound therapy is extremely effective at reducing inflammation over a tendon, as well as some other modalities. And something else that everybody should have at home is ice. Icing, whether it's been acute or chronic, is very good for tendonitis. Icing that tendon calms the inflammation down and allows that tendon to begin to heal. So once you've accomplished the healing process and the edema has gone down and the pain has gone down, then the patient is transferred into an exercise plan carefully created for that patient in order to help that tendonitis resolve and not come back. That's the importance of strengthening and stretching a joint, allowing that tendonitis to heal.
Okay, great. One last question. What are some things you can do to prevent or avoid getting tendonitis?
Okay, so most of the time tendonitis is from overuse. So being careful as to how much activity you're involved in is important. Now, some might say, well, I've got a job and it's repetitive and I can't avoid it, I've got to work, and that's true. However, there are steps that can be taken depending upon the nature and the mechanism of that position of that job to help to alleviate stress on a tendon. For example, wearing a brace around the forearm helps to alleviate stress on the tendon at the elbow. And taking time to ice at home after work pretty much just about every day, if you have that continuous strain or repetitive position, that's also important at preventing chronic problems. There are other things that could be done at home as well to take the stress away that you place on your body every day. In other circumstances, playing soccer, for example, or football, or some sports that can cause tendonitis, there are precautions for that as well. That's a good question for your chiropractor. There are real specific answers for that, but that's important to have an evaluation done in order to determine what would be best to help to avoid injury as well.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering those questions for me.
You're very welcome. Hope that helps you too. And if you have a concern or condition you'd like help with, visit your chiropractor today or simply look at the information on the bottom of your screen. I know we can help.